The Daddy Letters. Letter 9. What is romance? Part 2.
Dear daughters, I am pleased to hear that my last letter about romance blessed some of you with useful information, so much so, that I got the following note from my youngest.
Dear Dad, I never thought of you as a great romantic. I guess it's hard to think of one's Christian parents in that way, but I learned a lot from your last letter, and I hope you will consider sharing more of your male perspective and insights about romance with us. I want to be a good student of this divinely endowed nature so that when I am old and gray, I won't look back in regret of what I missed and could have enjoyed in marital romance.
I was touched by this request, and especially her recognition of what a tragedy it is to waste the time and opportunity we have to fully enjoy God's glory through the rites of love and marriage. This truth reminds me of a poem my father shared with me when I was a kid, that says, "For all sad words of tongue and pen, the saddest are these. It might have been." I pray my advice will protect you from having to use those words about your marital romance. In this letter I will try to elevate your view of romance to the way God sees it, and provide some practical tips for managing it. Christians often treat romance and sex as naughty pleasures God turns a blind eye to, but in His wisdom, He gave us the book of the Song of Solomon in the Bible, which celebrates the romantic and sexual aspects of our humanity inside marriage. And that is the key, inside marriage. Before marriage, romance can serve as a magnet to attract couples into appropriate exploratory dating, but its fullness can only be realized in marriage. The attempt of our cultural leaders to write their own rules about romance has perverted this beautiful aspect of the human experience and turned it into a sordid, shameful, and damaging experience. But God glories in our romantic pleasures, when we approach them, His way. And not only is permission given in Scripture to indulge in such pleasures, it is also commanded. 1 Corinthians 7 says, "Because of the temptation to sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife and each woman her own husband. The husband should give to his wife her conjugal rights." That's romance and sex. And likewise the wife to her husband. For the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. Likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Do not deprive one another, except perhaps by agreement for a limited time, that you may devote yourselves to prayer, but then come together again, so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. I wonder how many adulterous unions have taken place because married couples didn't give heed to this command, and how many damaging unmarried sexual unions have transpired because dating couples cultivated romance too quickly, and found it too difficult to wait for marriage. An examination of the Scriptures and the human nature He instilled in us reveals that romance and sex are glorious blessings from the Lord, filled with pleasures that evoke human emotional connection, as well as procreation that grows family. Romance is a God thing that serves many purposes, His purposes. Romance breaks through the ceiling of human existence and elevates the soul for a time into an ethereal world of serenity where minutes equal hours, and therefore a minute in this serenity is more healing than an entire day resting alone. It heals an ego bruised by reality, and satisfies the human need to feel important, desired, attractive, and valued. Romance restores sagging optimism, and depleted physical energy. Romance is born from the womb of human nature, therefore a knowledge of human nature, the peculiarities of the opposite sex, and creativity are necessary prerequisites to becoming a skillful romantic practitioner. Romance is an affirmational art. Through romantic affirmations we feel desired, preferred, liked, and loved. Affirmations tell us what draws our mates to our being, and not just our bodies. We feel affirmed when our mates compliment who we are, and not just what we do. Who we are is a combination of character, persona, beliefs, values, habits, physical characteristics, intellect, idiosyncrasies, mannerisms, personality, abilities, talents, wisdom, understanding, and skills. These traits should be the foundation upon which we build our affirmations. It remains important to compliment your husband for what he does, but affirming his being penetrates twice as deep into his heart. Solomon's wife understood the art of affirmation. Song of Solomon 2, verse 3 reads, "As an apple tree among the trees of the forest, so is my beloved among the young men. With great delight I sat in his shadow, and his fruit was sweet to my taste." Complimenting your husband for taking the trash out is good, but complimenting him for being a kind person is far better. Employing your creativity, you can use affirmations to skillfully manipulate the levers of his male nature and produce a healing force field of worthiness, desirability, beauty and positivity that repels unhealthy perceptions, resentments, disillusionments, and boredom. These emotions will create a magnetic pull between your soul and his, and give him a positive outlook on his marriage. Romance is a rest stop, a healing elixir with magical properties, a mystery connected to the unseen spiritual world, and catalyst for natural human urges. Romance is a cold drink of water during our arid journey of troubles, an intoxicating beverage of emotions that infuse the soul with life, optimism, positivity, and tranquility. One of the most important prerequisites to powerful romance is physical health and hygiene. It is harder for couples to be romantic when they are challenged with avoidable physical limitations, or off-putting hygiene. Of course, medical conditions, sickness, disease, and medications can present a challenge here, but we should do the best we can. Such effort will be met with great appreciation. You must attempt to bring a clean, well-groomed, fresh-scented body to dinner, the couch, and the bedroom. Remember in Ruth 3, verse 3, how Naomi advised Ruth in these matters. She said, "Wash therefore and anoint yourself, and put on your cloak and go down to the threshing floor." Taking care of yourself is an essential way to take care of your mate. There is no more valuable, or romantic, gift you can give your mate than the healthiest you possible. Caring for yourself will be perceived by your mate as caring about them. Successful romantic encounters begin with purposeful intentions, and then the initiator cultivates those intentions with creativity, using it to imagine settings, declarations, evocative gestures and spoken exaggerations to evoke desire. It helps to focus on all that is beautiful, desirable, sweet, positive, and wonderful about the beloved, while with prejudice, dismissing irritating faults, idiosyncrasies, offenses, resentments or unlovely characteristics. This cultivated positive mindset heightens the appeal of the beloved, and sparks ideas for points of affirmation and celebration. The resultant romantic encounter will make gratitude, appreciation, and wonder soar into the ether, thus, raising the human connection above the physical fray of gritty reality. In this pleasure-filled ether, the mind finds rest, fuel, and hope. Sometimes it helps to look at photos of happy times, shared adventures, the wedding, or other symbols of shared happiness that can assist in creating the necessary gratitude to infuse the soul with romance. In romantic moments, the heart unconsciously reasons that, if I can dismiss my mate's faults for these protected romantic moments, then I should be able to do the same once romance subsides. Romance helps us practice the virtue of acceptance, forgiveness, generosity, and mercy, and may lead to habitual patterns of exercising these virtues. Have you considered that romance is a sacramental act? Sacraments are outward signs of inward blessings, an act that has been ordained to awaken us to spiritual realities, renew spiritual covenants, and therein receive divine favor. Marriage, as created by God, is a spiritual covenant, replete in spiritual realities. Sacramental rituals usually employ consecrated elements, which are things set apart for holy use. In romance, the consecrated elements are our bodies, spaces, and neural pleasure channels. Remember, it was not only the two of you who showed up at the marriage altar, God was there too, bearing witness and playing his role in the three-way covenant. A blessing of this marital sacrament is that it lifts our souls to a spiritual plane where the true meaning of our covenant is realized and affirmed. It uses our outward physical faculties to secure inward blessings. These inward blessings are mutual feelings of significance to one another, increasing sense of oneness, covenant celebration, spiritual peace, mutual acceptance, and it verifies over and over the fidelity to the three-way covenant between the couple and God. An important blessing of this sacrament is its healing properties. Marital romantic experiences can heal wounds and rifts between couples, re-establish harmony, and strengthen commitment. It is a beautiful holy experience where the unseen spiritual bond of the couple is made flesh, thereby satisfying the need for spiritual and emotional realities to be expressed physically. It is a powerful way to worship God together, using the wonder of physical union to treasure God more fully by enjoying and acknowledging how wonderfully He made us, and how lovingly He bestowed upon us the capacity for great love and enjoyment. I encourage every couple to keep a Bible on a nearby nightstand, or Christian wall art, to inspire a sense of consecration to the bedroom space and remind them that their marriage, and everything about it, is to glorify God. I can't think of anything more romantic than to approach this otherwise carnal act for what it really is, a meaningful and sacred gift from God. Being mindful that the Creator is not only well pleased, but enthusiastic, about your romantic and physical embrace imparts an irreplaceable sense of wonder and holiness to romantic moments. Well, there you have it. I hope I met my goal of broadening your thinking about romance, and maybe given you a few tools to help. I urge my married daughters to use this information as a subject of conversation on one of your date nights to enrich your relationship, and my unmarried daughters should use it to assess compatibility with a suitor. If you want, I can come back to the subject of romance again later, but I want to talk about communication in my next letter because romance doesn't work without it, nor do many other parts of dating or marriage. By the way, I received the 75% off coupons for my favorite pie shop. Thank you, but I hope that doesn't mean you girls won't be cooking me any more of your homemade apple pies. Love. Dad. Dear daughters.